Sponsored by Chartered Financial Strategies. You are now watching Tax Bytes.
Okay, welcome to another episode of Tax Bytes. Sean Monahan, Chartered Financial Strategies, and looking to continue with valuing tax skills or tax preparation and the risk related to your tax return. And one of the things I want people to understand is other entities use your tax return other than the IRS for other things than the filing of it. So, for common example, people are aware of but don't always think about it when they're getting a return filed is when applying for lending, home loans and other loans, it is a common document that is provided as this is a Credit Karma article just kind of supporting the concept we all know, but tax returns is one of the number one documents that your lender is going to ask for. So understanding that a position you take on a tax return will impact your lending ability. Some are elections that you can take that are perfectly fine and don't cause conflicts. Others are where you take aggressive elections legal, otherwise that reduce your income but create lending questions if the lender wants to ask. You can accelerate expenses over here, reducing income. That reduced income impacts whether you get a loan or not. And so those are things that can impact your return, how that lender is going to use that return, and how flexible they'll be in understanding what elections over here can affect over there. Uh, Another common one is, of course, FAFSA. This is the FAFSA financial aid form. And if you go down, I'll have to look, but somewhere around in here you'll have references to the student, your child's income levels. So a tax return on them can affect their lending. Of course, if you come down to parents, the parents will have a similar question about their return as a form of what income you have. It supports income and other estimates, and those things can create risks. Just the use of it and the timing of filing it now and when you can use that return. So there are things you can do on that return that are, Roth conversions is a big one that raises questions with FAFSA. At least it used to. This stuff changes so often I can't keep up. But those are things that can raise questions. It shows up on the return. They're asking what this income source is, and it's a retirement asset that may or may not have an issue depending on how they look at it that year. Of course, you have another one which is divorce and other litigation as well, not just divorce. But that tax return can be subpoenaed or provided or asked for discovery in a contested divorce to identify assets used in forensic accounting, things of that nature. It's one of the, I guess, the top things that will be asked for in here is the past 3 years federal returns, and they'll use that to kind of branch out and see assets, income sources, things of that nature that will have to be looked at. And if you took a position on a tax return that is different than you're presenting in your litigation position, it can discredit you. It can lead to other questions. It can lead to where's it set, what happened, all kinds of things come up. So the due diligence over here can expand beyond that window of getting the return filed. It's just further risk that says more time and effort should be devoted to filing that tax return many times than most people are willing to put the effort into. So these are just small ones. You can get even when the IRS audits you, they're auditing this return, but they may look at the one before and after, and positions you took before and after that, the one they're being audited can bring up questions if they're different. Those things can come up. So more organizations use your tax return than most people understand, and the position on a return needs to reflect how it's going to be looked at many times years later than when you took that position on your return. So those risks need to be understood and valued when someone's counseling how you take a certain tax position. So this can be a little bit hard for some people to understand. I hope not. I hope I've given some benefit here. So I appreciate you taking the time to listen. And as always, have a good day.